I'm just gonna say it. Crusty cuticles are not pretty, they're not sexy, and they're actually just not okay. I'm gonna quickly show you how you can turn crusty cuticles into classy cuticles. It changes everything about the manicure. Let's go. I love me some crusty winter nails. Let's go ahead and jump in. Most of the time, if my client is not overgrown, I'm gonna get in there with a pusher and just gently apply pressure and release that cuticle right off the nail plate. And I'm gonna ask my client, what is their comfort level? What's your comfort level? Everything okay? Great. And this is why I'm asking, because in this area right here, it could be tenderoni. I already see areas that have been split, so I want to be careful. If she is sensitive, I'm going to change what I'm doing. For the sake of this model, we are not tender, but I am aware that there are some corners that could tear. So I'm gonna go in with my Big E. Fantastic. So I got the Big E, and if you are new around here, you know if you're talking about the Big E, you gotta say Big E. America, Big E, I don't know, it was a college thing. Anyways, I'm starting at 9,000 RPMs because this is a new client and I'm getting to know her cuticles. Listen, we don't have to do a lot of detail work, a lot of grooming to have beautiful looking cuticles. What we need is the right tool and the right RPMs. Got that? So I've decided I'm gonna bump her up a little bit because she is a little more crusty, and what's nice is that crust is just coming right off. Now, my client doesn't have to have perfect hands to have perfect nails. We are here to make them look pretty, and a little bit of grooming can go a long way. Look right now how I've opened it up already, okay? I like the Big E because here I'm also able to prep that nail plate because today we are applying some gel polish. We'll have to talk about the color later. But for right now, let's keep going. Very gentle pressure at 12,000 RPMs. And I am in the forward direction. All right, see how we have some buildup right here in this corner. They don't always tell us, so this is my decision right now. Am I doing a structured gel manicure or am I doing a regular gel manicure? Because what that's going to tell me is, am I gonna get in there with a flame bit? Or am I really just taking my Big E, opening up that proximal fold some? Or am I really just taking my bit and exfoliating the nail plate and getting rid of that crust? I don't want to say one is wrong or right. I honestly don't want you to buy all my tools, but I do want you to have the right tool to get the look that you want and that your client needs, okay? So many of us are doing too much, spending too much time on cuticle work, trying to make them editorial, and you're not enjoying it and your client's not enjoying it. Look how beautiful after I do this pass with just using one tool, okay? So at this point, you're probably wondering, where do I get these amazing tools? That's an easy question. Check out us at ericasata.com. You can do all the shopping you need from cuticle prep to product removal. At Erica's, we got you covered with quality tools that will bring you great results. Let's talk about this. I was using a more rounded end versus a pointy end. Now the benefit of that is I can quickly push into that crust without having the sharpness of a point. Because sometimes the point can tear or it gets stuck in the sinus area and bad things can happen. See, I even still have some buildup there. And the reason I kept that buildup is because most likely I'm going in with a flame. So let's talk about that. Now, I know that rounded Big E is not going to be able to exfoliate this area off. So I'm going in with my flame. But if my client is tender, I'm not gonna do that, okay? I'll like nip it and then I'll refine it. Everything that we're trying to accomplish here with cuticle grooming is to make sure that they are pretty and functional for their lifestyle. Beauty is pain, not subscribing to that, not today, honey. But see how this is a little more opened up right here than it is here? That's because we were working from right to left. When we go against the grain, we are opening up that proximal fold. Now, what we do need to be careful with as we're opening the proximal fold is that we're not tucking polish too much where it's not able to be cured. We need to make sure that there's a full cure so irritation and allergies don't become a problem down the road. Now, I want to open up and create more depth. I want to open that pocket. So after I do all the fingernails, I put my efile in reverse and I go against that grain. See how that's opening that right side up like that, gently pushing into her fold. My wonderful client today is also a nail tech, and guess what? She is crusty in this area and it is tight because that's exactly where she holds her efile. Now, Knowing that information, knowing her lifestyle and her career, am I going to spend a lot of time doing cuticle work here? No, because I know tomorrow she's back in the driver's seat doing nails. But I still want to make sure that they look nice and uniform. But I'm not going to spend 5 minutes softening that area and trying to open it up when I know very well that that callus is because that's where she holds her efile. That's actually like your money maker. Right there, your money maker. Let's not mess with it. Now, when I see these little bits of skin, I'm just softening them. I love working with the Erica's medium tools because it's abrasive enough to really catch that dry skin, but also gentle enough that if I rub it on the live tissue, it's not hurting them, okay? Now, I want to backpedal a little bit. It all goes back to your RPMs. Do not be applying that pressure. Allow the bit to do the work for you. Gently pushing into that proximal fold, never the nail plate. Don't dig, just sweep, just sweep. Doing my back roll. This is a great bit for if you're new to doing dry manicures, if you're trying to have a more universal tool, but what I love about it, it can get nails done quickly. And let's be honest, time is money. Efficiency matters. In this area, I'm just really softening everything so I don't get any hangnails. It's winter time. What I like about having a chubbier tool and not always just working with the really skinny or the flame ones is that I can drop that barrel and really soften that free edge of the finger. Soften, soften, soften. Our client doesn't have any cracks right here, but let's just say from the elements or from also wearing nail enhancements, that pressure that's pushing in, you're just gonna soften it like this. It's a beautiful thing. Live tissue, dead tissue, it's just exfoliating. I don't know if the camera's catching this, but it's just a mouthful of dead skin cells. Now I'm just gonna kind of open it up a little bit. Do your back roll, it's opened up. You know I'm different to the game. I like to continuously move that pocket back and not push it forward. So I am taking my brush with about 70 to 90% alcohol and pulling back, pulling back. I use a bristle that's a little more aggressive. It can be a little sensitive towards clients who just have a little more feelies, but I find that it's actually able to grab versus the really soft ones, okay? The really soft bristles that kind of just move the dust instead of catch it and remove it, okay? So let's take a look with what we have right now. I got some like buildup right in that corner, but we knew we were going in there with something a little more pointy. And from here, I know my client is dry, so I want to make sure I am using a medium versus a fine. All right, so I'm in with the nib and I'm starting at 12,000 RPMs just to see how tight she is. The reason that I went with the nib today is because there's no reason. I wanted to show it. Flames can very much be a personal preference. Some people are like, die hard, that is my flame. I'm just mixing it up, okay? I chose the nib because it's really easy just to get into this area. And I wanted to do a medium versus a fine because she's dry, and literally every time I'm like touching some dry cuticle, it's just flaking right off. So it's easy for me to get in there and just clean it up. Now, what I'm doing with my nib is I am so gently, I'm sweeping until I'm really kind of able to get under that lip. I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm just going stroke by saying like, knock, knock, permission to come in. And when I get in there a little bit, I just sweep out those particles. So I'm gently on the nail plate and I'm just coasting the bit down this fold, all right? I'm doing multiple passes so you can see my angle. I'm not leading with this point because if she moves, we're now piercing cuticles. I'm going with the side of the bit, being very careful in this sinus area, and then pulling down the lateral fold off to the side. I'm not flossing. That's going to overfile that lateral fold. We don't want to do that. We want to use that side of the nib to clean up that dryness in this area right now. Just like that. See how much I've opened and how soft that looks? That's going to allow for product application to be a lot easier. Let's set ourselves up for things to be easy. Now, once I've done everything in forward, we're going to switch to that reverse side. Again, my client is extra tight on the opposite side because that's where she holds her efile. So really my goal here is just to gently remove anything that's going to hinder the gel application. I'm not trying to soften or recoat how her cuticle looks in this area because I know that is just part of her lifestyle. Now, some of us are hyperfixating, but listen, this was 2 bits for crunchy cuticles, and I'm going to show you the results afterwards. It's a little drier up in this corner, but we're just going to keep that bit a little parallel, very gentle. I'm only on the nail plate when I need to be. I'm gonna angle that nib up a little bit so that I can clean that cuticle that's up on the proximal fold and not just on the nail plate. No digging. Okay, and you know what? When your client is feeling a little like, oh, I'm so crusty, I'm so sorry, it's like, actually, they're the easiest ones to work on. It's when somebody has more moisture in their skin and like they're kind of wet, that's where it gets difficult. So say, hey man, you're making my job easier and you're gonna have great results because that's what our tools do. Those diamond particles exfoliate, right? It's gently exfoliating and grooming without anything harsh. Okay, earlier when I was gonna show you guys, now that the alcohol is driving some, I was going to show you. If some of you are looking at this like, oh, I really need to cut that. Honestly, wait till the end with the oil and the Big E or the polisher and it's going to be fine. But I know some of you are like, no, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I got to go for it. If that's the case, go with the Erica's cuticle scissors and use that little edge and get that little point that's only driving you nuts and nobody else sees. Not worth it. Time is money, girlfriend. What I really like about the Erica's cuticle scissors is, first of all, I am a scissors girl versus nippers, but it's the bounce, okay? I have this, I'm not like cutting paper. I just literally can very gently, because the tip is the magic. And when I'm able to so softly just push my fingers together and get that snip, I have full control of my angle. I'm making sure my elbow is up. I can use that little edge just to micro cut. Oh yeah, get in there, baby. I'm not overcutting. Less is more because I'm gonna soften everything. Again, this is for you perfectionists. I can't believe I'm catering to you right now because I would have done this all with my bits. But I know this look is important and that final touch to some of you. So there it is. We got these results because we used Erica's high quality bits, you guys. You're not gonna get the same thing with other tools. If you don't believe me, check out my Temu video where we do the budget bits and we see what a budget manicure can look like. See you in the next video. If you want more content like that, please let me know so I can tell these people you like me. All right, like, subscribe, do the thing. See you soon.